everyone, it's Lindsay. Welcome to my channel. It's the end of the month and so I thought I'd pop in with some of my May favorites. Hope you guys enjoy. One quick note before diving into my makeup favorites, I just want to mention that I'm wearing all of the products I am talking about. So if you're curious about the finish or just how it wears, you're seeing it right now. Starting out with a makeup favorite, I have been really enjoying Tarte's Poppy Picnic palette. Picked this up at Sephora during the VIB sale. As some of you know who have been following my channel, I've been loving Tarte eyeshadows. This one is just right up my alley because it's got some neutral colors and it's got a blush with a little bit of shimmer in it, but it's not like super shimmery. So really have been enjoying this, especially when I'm on the go and I just need a basic classic palette to tie me over when I'm traveling and don't want to carry like all my eyeshadows. So really have been enjoying this and it's been very versatile. The staying power is the same like all other Tarte eyeshadows that I have. I have the Tarte Lip palette and I have a QVC palette that I picked up in February and they're all about the same. So really enjoy these colors. I highly recommend it if you are thinking about picking up a matte neutral eyeshadow palette. And I have to mention the price was also right. For a high-end-ish palette, it was about 38 bucks, and I think that's pretty reasonable considering it's got a blush in it as well. Next makeup favorite is this small sample size Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the color Opal. I know that the powder formula of this is really popular. I don't have that, I haven't tried it. But as far as like the liquid, I think this is perfect, the perfect formula for summer to give you that glistening glow, and it's not too sparkly, it's just that natural glow. Becca has really mastered that finish and I love this product. I got it during the VIB sale during one of those tutorials that they did. One of their representatives gave it to me and I think I would actually purchase this in the full size, or at least like one of the travel sizes when this runs out, because I really like to use this as a highlighter and I also kind of use it under my eyes. If I don't need to conceal, I think this is a really great illuminator for under the eyes as well. So highly recommend this. The next product is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Eye Pencil. I heard Marnie, Miss Gold Girls, discussing this on her channel, and I think she was introduced to it by Michelle 1218, and so I was curious about it as well, just because I've always been on the hunt for a really nice eye pencil for the inner corners, and I really like this because it's a nice pearly color with like a little bit of a golden undertone to it, and it really blends nicely without looking like totally obvious that I've lined the inner corner of my eyes. And I think partly that is due to the fact that their tip is really different. It's got this rubbery kind of texture to it, very different than a typical like spongy smudger that you would see on a pencil like this. If you're in Sephora, I would highly recommend popping over to their display and just checking out the tip of this and playing around with the formula. They had several other colors as well, but for an inner blendable like inner like corner color, this is great. So, oh, and it actually like stays all day. It has really good staying power. Next up is the lip color I have been loving this month. It is a Bite Beauty BB for Lips formula in the color Suede. Now, it's not a very obvious color. Sometimes I really love to wear pops of color, bold lips, but for every day I like something quite neutral, and this is a pretty pinky purple color. I know you can't tell that from that far away, but I'm wearing it on my lips and it's got a really nice creamy like texture. Like, I know it's on my lips, but it's not, it's gonna sound dramatic, but it's not invasive. It doesn't feel like it's really like uncomfortable on the lips because it's kind of thick and creamy. It feels nice and moisturized, and I appreciate that formula and the natural lip color it gives. Yeah. So that does it for makeup products, but I do want to spend some time talking about some other beauty products for the bath and for hair that have been really helpful for me this month. And I'm gonna start with this brush. It's 100% Wild Boar brush. I got this from Wilshire Beauty. It's a specialty beauty shop here in LA. If you're looking for a dry brush, I just discovered dry brushing this past month, and I have to tell you, I'm like really into it right now. It does, so supposedly, for those of you not familiar with dry brushing, it really helps move the lymphatic fluids in your body and helps clear toxins. And I have to say, I have noticed more clearing of toxins since I've started doing this. What you do is you just brush upward and in an upward motion toward your heart. You do this on your legs, you do this on your arm, like all over your body. You do it dry before you jump into the shower. And it's great for not only that, but also some light exfoliating. The bristles are not too stiff. I've heard some people say like, oh, the brushes are too stiff. I think it's just a matter of finding the right coarseness for you. So yeah, I would highly recommend this. And I'd have to mention that my husband has noticed that my arms are a lot softer now. Not that they were like really like troll, like ogre, like, I don't know, scaly arms, I should say. They were normal, but they're a lot softer now, so it helps soften skin as well. So highly recommend that. Okay, next up, talking about a loofah. I picked up this natural sponge from Wilshire Beauty as well. It's the same place I got the dry brush. But if you go to any specialty beauty shop in your town, I'm sure you could find these products, similar products at least. But I've been using a natural sponge for about a couple years now, and I prefer natural sponge. This may be a little weird, but instead of using a traditional loofah, I kind of got a little, I don't know how I got this idea in my head, but I just feel like they've been treated with chemicals, and it seems kind of unsanitary because they would kind of get like a little like, not moldy, but just like discolored like around the rope area, and I don't know why, and that would just gross me out. So I've been using this natural sponge, and I feel like it's a lot more hygienic. It dries out very fast, you know, by the next day I'm in the shower and it's dry. So really enjoy using this, and it's a nice size for my hand, and it does the job, of course. So I wanted to talk about a couple hair products that I've been really enjoying lately. I picked up this Ibiza brush. Now this was definitely an investment. I think normally it's about like almost $50, and I picked it up for $40. I bought this over at Namie's beauty store in North Hollywood. And the guy there was just talking to me about different round brushes and gave me like the 15% off hairdresser discount, I guess, even though I wasn't a hairdresser, and I was like, yeah, I'll take it. But it took me a while to finally learn how to use this, because it's not like, traditionally I've had ceramic or just like not the bristly brush, you know what I mean? It's like, I think this is a mix of, I don't know if it's a mix or actually what kind of bristles they are, but whatever kind of bristles they are, they really help smooth and polish my hair. You just have to be really patient with it because it's not going to dry it as quickly as something like a ceramic brush will, but it really gives a lot more polish to the hair, if that makes any sense. I was watching a hair tutorial that was recommended by Lisa D1. She saw Anna Lee. I think she's a hairdresser. I'll link it below. I'll link both channels below in case you're curious. And she had a really great, Anna had a really great hair tutorial showing how to use a round brush and do that perfect blowout look, and I've been using that all this month, and I really do find that helpful. I did it right before a wedding, and even though I had like added curls to my hair, by the end of the night when my curls had fallen out, my hair actually looked perfectly sleek and straight rather than like gross and weird. So it was wedding, it held up during a wedding, and I really liked that about that blowout technique. So I would highly recommend checking out that video. Next up is this Shiseido Ibuki Gentle Cleanser. I picked this up during the VIB sale in April. I've been using it ever since. I got it initially in a really small sample pot and then went ahead and bought the full version. It is so gentle, and it really helps keep my skin balanced. Not sure exactly the chemistry behind that, but I've had no reaction to it, no breakouts due to it. It really does an effective job, and all you do is need a little teeny bit of it, you know, because it's a very rich formula and it lathers up really nicely. I'd show you right now, but I don't want to waste it. But highly recommend this if you are in the market for a new cleanser. The only downside is that it kind of smells like a product for, how do I say this delicately, a mature woman. It smells something like my grandma would use, but the formula itself is very effective. Last thing I want to talk about is this magazine I discovered this month. It's called Darling Magazine. I was watching Pretty Shiny Sparkly talk about it in one of her vlogs a couple months ago, or maybe a few weeks ago. Time is such a blur right now. And she mentioned that none of the pictures are retouched. I'm gonna thumb through it, and just reading through it, a lot of it is first person perspective, and it took a while to get used to it because some of the style of writing is not something you would typically read in magazines, in commercial and normal mainstream magazines. And so there's a lot of different voices and perspectives, and at first it kind of threw me off, but then I got used to it, and I really appreciate that they have so many different people contributing to this magazine, and I highly recommend it. I think a new issue just came out, so I'm gonna have to go over to Anthropologie and pick it up. Yeah, that's just what I should mention. It's not easy to find this magazine. In my neighborhood or in my town, I found it at Anthropologie, and I think they are sold at Anthropologies across the US. So highly recommend this if you want to check out a new magazine. It's so cool. I really love it. And even on the back they have their manifesto. It says, "Darling is the art of being a woman. Darling Magazine holds the modern mold of women up to the fire to evoke a discussion on femininity and reshape an authentic design. Darling is a catalyst for positive change, leading women to discover beauty apart from vanity, influence apart from manipulation, style apart from materialism, sweetness apart from passivity, and womanhood without degradation. Darling leads women to practice the arts of virtue, wit, modesty, and wisdom, all the while creating beauty and embodying love. Darling says women are not only interesting, but original, not only good enough, but exceptional, not just here, but here for a purpose." I love that. I love that manifesto. It's beautiful, and I will continue to support this magazine, so I highly recommend you do too. So that does it for my favorites this month. I hope you guys enjoyed catching up with the things that I've been loving. Remember to find me on Instagram and Twitter at The Daily Lindsay if you want to keep up with me on a daily basis. And remember to subscribe to this channel so you'll know when new content pops up. Alright, so I will talk to y'all later. Bye!